Blessings, blessings, blessings. This is Mercedes Warwick, and welcome to the Mindfulness of Healing, an associate program of SacredKey.com. I'm going to share something with you very, very quickly. The other day, I did the video on the Sacred Soul Ignitions, and I shared 3 cards instead of 1. The first card, which was the Sacred Key itself, was Am, which is bringing energy into form, into usable form, serviceable form. The second card was I Am, which is consciousness into form. And the third card was merging with the oneness, which is like a dissolving into the oneness and bringing the oneness, the consciousness, the I Am into form. And I was saying, I shared those 3 cards because they were so interactive and, in my view, so dynamic. So I'm going to show you 2 things. These two books right here have the final art for the Sacred Soul Ignitions that I have had completed. Here's one of them. I'll get you another one. Right now, I think there's 77 drawings. The initial download, and I should check when that was 44 cards, and then the rest evolved over the space of like a week, a few days after that. I've had these for a minute. You've seen the cards because I'm sharing them with you, and I've just sat on it. It has been a very personal, a very intimately personal tool for me. And I was in the process of trying, and I don't use that word often, but it's been since my evolution, this last healing that I received. It's been, all these words are kind of floating around up here and I can't get them down. So I've tried dictating them and that's been a mess. I've tried journaling and that's been a mess. But the blockage or whatever was happening finally released after the soul ignitions and my meditations and contemplations on it. And I started writing into the computer, which right now feels like a miracle and a godsend. So now I'm going to show you this book. This is what I do when I'm starting to write courses or books or something like that. I have started to take guidance on writing. Right now, I think it's 2 books. It's going to be the Simple Prayer and the Radiant Soul Balancing Sacred Soul Ignitions. And it's very modest. In the binder, it's very modest, but here it is. Here's the proof, but all my notes and the channels and the things I recorded is about over 100 pages right now that I have to go back and turn into something. So here's one of the ignitions and its writing. And it's really interesting. Normally you'd say, oh, I'm so excited, but it's like I'm so at peace. It's like this is the right thing to do right now. And there might be a time that I have to take a break from it or something, but it's in the works. I love you, but I really wanted to get something down for my sister. And you need to find somebody to do a you to you. That's what she tells me. But, she's seen the way these cards have profoundly impacted me. And when I went through these last chemo sessions, the last 5 chemo sessions will go down in infamy in my divine file here. There really truly wasn't a way for people to assist me through the processes that I use for myself. And so I may write this and never publish it. I mean, I have done crazy stuff like that before. But for right now, I just think it's really important to get the understanding of the frequencies, because that's really, now that I've started writing, it's been really interesting. Is I know the frequencies. Like I know this is like an autobiography of my relationship in the divine communion. So I wanted to show you this because it's really important that you have a spiritual toolkit together for yourself. That's the first thing. You don't have to be as, as prolific as I've been with, art and everything. That's just been my way. But I have I don't even know because I've been using the cards but I used to have a bag that has the books. Well, actually, I do have it together still. It's I moved it. I just moved recently, but it's in the nightstand in my bedroom with the books that have influenced me, comforted me, stimulated me to new thought, new thinking, and have provided methods of healing for me. I have a small library that I call my toolkit that I refer to. I also have a box, and that box is very pedestrian and mundane, but it's very special. It belonged to a friend of mine, and I took it when she moved. It's a big old-fashioned red box. They might have put milk in it or something at one point, and it's by the side of my bed, and I have my tools there. So this is very, very important, and important for you to have a spiritual toolkit and to know that it works. And it may only work for you exclusively, but it does work. And I'm very grateful because I think what is happening here, and that I hope that what I'm doing will be of service, truly. I really do believe that. I think that's why I'm able to start writing now, because I couldn't just put another book in the world, and I don't consider myself to be, I don't want to be, I don't know how this is all going to manifest. I think that's what I'll say now. But what I will say is, as I'm writing this so far, it seems to be really specific to talking about these frequencies, because they're universal frequencies. You can apply them to any area of your life. But what I hope that is emerging, what I see emerging, is this conversation and discourse around how to use divine frequencies, how to come into communion and relationship with the divine frequencies. There's really only one frequency, which is the master key, the master energy, that is God itself. But these aspects of the frequencies that have emerged through the Sacred Soul Ignition are really kind of a balancing point, so that we can get into a space, whatever is throwing us off balance. And clearly there is something off balance if there is a disease in your body. Something has not lined up in some level of your energetic field. So it is a way to be in energetic fields and to come into relation. I have to be careful because I don't want to say apply them, right? Because that would be that I'm in the middle of it. And the thing that I'm learning about these Sacred Soul Ignitions is that it is a communion. It is a relationship. And it is an adaptation into energy that will support you. And this morning when I was writing, it was so interesting because I talked about that buoyant support that I feel when I'm in communion, when I'm sitting and resting in God and sitting in the compassionate presence. And that was the evolution of, I'm not healing cancer. I'm sitting in the presence and allowing the force of God, the nature of the divine, to ignite within me, and for me to have a remembering of those frequencies of God that I instinctively, innately have as being part of the spark of the divine, that divine spark. So I've been talking about You know, people get so upset when people say, you know, I am God and you are God and all of this, but I am as God is. I am as God is. You know, I am as God is. That I am made up. My body is God's frequency's essence, vibration, frequency, energy, vibration, and frequency. My body is energy, vibration, and frequency. That's been densified so that I can use it, right? So all of these different evolutions and layers of energy and understanding that is really, I don't know about the understanding it, because we kind of know it. When it comes into real application, like when I lay a card down and I get the dialogue that comes forward on the sacred soul ignitions, when I get the dialogue that raises up out of the how the cards have come laid out, it is a knowing. You know, I don't have to figure out what to do next. I can just rest in that frequency that has come forward and sit with it and get quiet with it and listen to the silence that's within it, so that the bubbling up can come, and then hopefully action is stimulated. In this case, action is stimulated. In other cases, I just rest quietly and I can feel the energies bringing peace and discovery into my body. The other thing that came forward in the writing today that was really, really front and forward is just the intelligence of the energy. So that's why I'm really being careful about the language of I am applying healing, like I am laying hands on somebody, but that's not what's occurring. The energy is really truly intelligent. And so intelligence, it is intelligence itself. I don't want to say it's an intelligent energy. It is intelligence. So as I am bathing in this frequency, it's almost like the movie The Matrix. You could just be in that energy, and it's knowing how to support my body, support my mind, support the soul and spirit, support my whole ecosystem. And so it was pretty profound writing this morning. And like I said, look, there's no jewelry. I mean, literally just rolled out of bed, almost threw this on and went to the computer. But I wanted to let you know that this is a result of my personal tool, and I am very blessed to have one. So I will continue to share the Sacred Soul Ignitions and this journey that I'm on to get them all written out, to get my explanation, my little limited slice, because there's more beyond my experience, right? And that's the other thing about this, especially if it becomes a tool for others to use, is to really have, they're telling me it's a divine commemoration, but it's your own personal divine commemoration. I'm really trying to write these so that I'm not saying definitively this is what this frequency is. I'm trying to leave enough spaciousness in the writing so that you can sit with it and contemplate it, and then be able to now that is really interesting. They're saying evolve and rejoice in each moment. You'll get exactly what you need. My phrase that I use is the exact right thing in the exact right moment. And that's what I always say, amen, 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 so be this done. I may not know what that is, but as I rest in the presence of God, as I sit in that compassionate presence, I know the flow of the exact right thing in the exact right moment. So be this done. Amen. All right? Namaste. May you know the divine intimately.